on this computer and we are recording. All right. Okay, guys, so I feel like it's been a while since I've come on here and really talked about like attracting builders into your business and how you do that. And I feel like it's probably one of the number one questions that I get from most people is like, that's great. I've been able to sign up some challengers. I have some people in my challenge group who want to get fit, but I can't find any builders. And I hear the I can't find any builders thing quite often. Hold on. I don't know why that just popped up and asked me to log in again. You guys can hear me and see me and everything? Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so, and first of all, I would start by saying, like, take that out of your vocabulary, because if you're sitting there saying, I can't find builders, that's what you're putting out there in the universe is, I can't find builders, and you're actually creating that for yourself. So instead, say, I attract awesome people into my business, and I'm just going to follow these things that Joan and her team and my coach have told me to do, and I'm going to crush this, and I'm going to find lots of people who want to run in this thing with me. And that's what you start saying. And I'm going to teach you how to do that tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. I did actually make slides. I know it's like a shocker. All right. And can you see them? Can you see them once I hit play? Yes? Cool. All right. So I'm going to move this little, I guess I'm going to keep that farther. All right. So first off, I wanted to congratulate anybody who is in Success Club already. This month is Team Cup month, and so there's lots of fun prizes and stuff like that, and you guys are all on teams, and so we're all working together to create these points with each other so that we can qualify for these things. And huge shout out to my team, because I think that we were in the Northeast? We were like number 7 in the Northeast or something like that last week, so that was pretty rad. I have a George hair in my mouth. That's really gross.
That makes sense.
Okay. So congrats to you guys. That's awesome. I wanted to say congrats to Meg for being at SD8. Samantha's at 6. Leanne is at 6. And Mariah is at 6. Guys, in order to be recognized here or on the leaderboards that you see pop up on the team page and in a special little recognition thing you guys will see soon, you want to make sure that you're updating the files section of the team page, because when somebody goes to make these calls and stuff real quick, they don't want to be searching around. And if it's not me, it's actually really hard for them because they can't see the whole downline to go and check your numbers. So make sure that you're doing that. And then for you guys who are new, which I don't think we have any brand new people on this call, but Success Club really is how we build our business, and it's something that's so easy to keep track of and to go after. I can tell you that those people who are really super duper successful in this business and earning a lot of money are people who make Success Club every single month consistently. That's how we do it. All right. And I wanted to give a huge congrats. Is this thing covering Katie's face on yours? It's covering it on mine. So annoying. All right. I want to give a huge congrats to Katie Meserve. She is currently tied for number 18 in the Northeast in the entire company, you guys. So that is incredible. And it just is like a true reflection of how well she is leading her people and what she's doing in her business. And it's just so cool, because I remember about this time last year, her messaging me and being like, I want to be on that board. I want to be on that board. So there's something to be said about, the things that we focus on growing and coming to fruition. So you want to make sure that the things that you are focusing on are positive things. And then this happens. This is so awesome. Also wanted to give a huge shout out to Leanne and Michaela, who both went emerald in their businesses this past week. Guys, that means that they have 2 people in their business, like one on each side. It could be their boyfriend and their mom. Like, it could be a friend and your mom. So very, very easy to go emerald. It's really a decision that you make. I always suggest sign one person and then sign a friend. All right. Wanted to talk about Summit real quick too. I know that you guys may have seen that today I posted that little video clip in the team page about Summit. It's kind of cool because there's a little picture of me and Kylie and Katie in there, and I think there's another one of me with Autumn after our workout at Leadership, so that's kind of cool. But that gave you a really good snapshot of what Summit's about, but I thought this was cool too. If you go to coachsummit.com, it gave you the top 10 reasons to attend. So you get to go experience Lucas Stadium, home of Super Bowl champions, the Indianapolis Colts. You get to work out with thousands of coaches at the Epic Super Workout. You guys, we literally take over an entire street with these giant Megatrons showing the workout. It's crazy. You get to hear CEO Carl Deichler and Beachbody executives share their vision for the company. there's something called the core, and you get to go in there and purchase, like, some of you are newer coaches and you might be like, hey, where did you get that 80-day obsession shirt? Or where did you get that like really cool, like, pair of pants, or how do you have Beachbody sneakers, etc. We get them at the core. Celebrate your success at some of the most memorable parties. So they always do cool things. Like if you make Success Club, or you go up on the leadership party, the leadership ladder party. You get to go to that party. Like literally Beachbody kind of spoils us with the things that they do and how special they make coaches feel at these events. Be front and center. The coaches square off the Beachbody Classic. Ryan, I think, is competing in that. Did you sign up for that yet? Ryan's got to register for that. Let's see, what else? Yes, you get to spend time with your coaches. You get to hear about new products and launches. You get training from top coaches. You get to work out with the super trainers, not just at the super workout, but you can sign up for a workout with the specific trainers. And then you guys, it's just literally like an event that you'll leave and it'll make a dent in your business. I think that they shared some numbers about percentages of those who make Success Club after they go to Summit. So the month after Summit, I think it's 26%. 12
times.
Or 12 times. Yeah, they make 12 times the amount of money in their business than coaches that did not attend Summit make. And also they make, I think it said something like 26% more coaches in Success Club who went to Summit than didn't. Some numbers like that. I'm not good with numbers, but you can go check it out. Basically, it means good things for your business. It's a big deal. Go. We're announcing that Megan Davies is actually coming to Maine for Super Saturday. So you guys, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, you can get them now. She's going to run a workout for us. I'm sure that we'll probably have her come up on stage and speak a little bit as well. Plus, you're going to get some awesome training from other coaches, and it's just a really super chill, really fun event. It's only half day. It runs from like 9 to 1, and you get a photo op with her. You can try some like Shakeology treats. Like we just do lots of fun things, and you learn a lot about your business. This is, again, events are where it's at, you guys. It's kind of where you see the big picture, and it can be a game changer for your business. All right, so now let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. So our deepest fear is, I wanted to talk about fear for a second. So when we talk about attracting coaches into our business, or really even just signing challengers up or any of that, reaching out to people, posting, all of those sorts of things, like basically following the vital behaviors to move your business forward, I find that many times the thing that's holding us back from doing it is fear. It's not that we don't know how. It's not that we don't know like why we're doing it or any of those things. It's really just that we are fearful of what other people will think of us. We're fearful of whether our post is going to bomb, or whether you know, our coworkers are going to see it or something like that. We're fearful of it doing well. Sometimes we're fearful of failing. We have all of these things happening in our heads, right? And it holds us back from actually doing what we want to do in order to succeed. So one of the best ways that you can do that, and I think on the next slide I'll talk about that a little bit, one of the best things that you can do is acknowledge the fear. You can change your mindset about it, and one of the best things and ways to do that is through personal development. But also talk to your coach. Like if this is something that's holding you back from doing what you want to do, have your coach like work with you and help you through things so that you can get past it. Another thing holding us back is belief. And when I say belief, most of the time, I don't think that it's belief in this business working, because clearly we can see it working for other coaches in this network. We see people retiring from their jobs. We see people making the Million Club. We see people building houses and doing all these things with money that they've earned as Beachbody coaches. So clearly this works. We all know that the products work. If you follow the plan, you're going to lose weight. You're going to feel better. You're going to get healthy. You're going to build muscle. So we have the belief in the products and the company, and that the whole notion of it, if you take the action, works. But sometimes I think what's lacking there is the belief in ourselves. So we need to find that belief in ourselves that it will work for us and that we deserve it. And one of the best ways to do that is your why. So again, if you don't have a why, that also could be something that's holding you back. Your why should be big enough that it makes you cry. If you don't have a why yet that's driving you in this business, that's making you take action regardless of your fears or your, lack of belief in yourself at the moment, then you need to readjust your plan and start thinking, what is going to make me jump out of bed earlier in the morning so I can get this done? What's going to make me sacrifice sleep? What's going to make me push like when I don't want to, instead of slinking back and hiding and not doing it and watching TV and like going to bed and doing all these things. What's going to change that for you so that you actually take the steps that you know you need to? And then the last thing that could be holding you back is knowledge. Some people jump into these things and they want to know everything about it before they get going. And this is a business where you're really going to get most of your knowledge by doing it, by taking action and learning, by learning from your conversations, by learning from your posts that flop, by learning how to attract people and what works and what doesn't. It's all really like a failing business. Like you have to fail forward. By failing, that's how you learn. And so I think from a young age, we're always taught that you've got to do all this studying first so that you can nail this test and get 100 on it, right? But this isn't this. This is life. You learn this by failing. And when you fail, that's how you realize what works. And then you try something else and you fail again, and you try something else and you fail again. I have run my whole business as a giant failure, trying things and they don't work. And that's just the truth of it. I mean, Katie and Dominique and I ran a group the other day, total failure. That group sucked so bad, you guys. But what we learned from it is that we have to be a little bit more prepared next time, and we have to change the way we do things. Okay. It's great. I love failing. It helps me move forward. So become somebody who loves to fail and who doesn't sit there and get, they start not doing things, like you procrastinate because you don't know all of the answers. Instead, here's how we combat those. So those are the action stoppers, right? So here's how you get them going. So vital behavior number 1 is be proof the product works, right? So when you are proof the product works, your belief in this business and in the products goes through the roof. I actually just had a short little call with 6 of my coaches, and one of them, Kelly, just said, she's like, it's crazy. My conversations have become so much better because I am so in this program and what I'm doing. Like, it's not coming off as like, oh yeah, there's this great program out there you should check out. It's like, oh my God, this is what this is doing for me. And when you feel like that, you have a really hard time keeping it to yourself, right? And selfish. You want other people to feel as good as you. You can't help talking about it. Kind of like in the workouts when Autumn's saying, like, when you had that hard ass workout, you're going to go to your coworkers the next day and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't even sit down. That's part of sharing right there. You just shared, right? So when you are in that, when you are in the programs, you are feeling better, you're feeling more positive, you have more energy, your belief goes through the roof, it starts radiating through you, and it's going to make your business a lot easier for you. Personal development. So when we're having fears, when we're having things stop us, it's really, really important to stop listening to those voices and start putting better things in our head to take their place, right? Because it's really not like our brain is able to like stop obsessing about something and just like move on. It just goes to like another obsession, right? So if we start obsessing about good things, then it's going to result in good things rather than the bad things that result in bad things. So personal development, talk to your coach, ask them what they're reading, ask them what they recommend, tell them what you're struggling with so that they can recommend them. Again, just on a call with a couple of coaches, and somebody said that they're having problems with, posting or finding things to post about. And I just recommended a book for her based on why I think she's having that problem. So when you're working with your coach, they can really help you with that. And personal development has been my number 1. I mean, really, without reading Gabrielle Bernstein, without digging deep into my spiritual journey, without digging deep into my personal development and my meditation practice and all of that stuff, I don't know whether I would have ever said like, yeah, go ahead, I'll do this business. But once I did, I realized that, I had, and I'll talk about it, in a second, the helpsmanship. Really, it helps you realize that like you are here on this planet to be of service to other people. And by you shrinking, you're not doing that. So personal development is going to help you get rid of the thought process about everybody else, think and what they think of you, and just start thinking about everybody else and how you can help them. So that's another way. And then resourcefulness. I just talked about knowledge, right? And like taking action without knowing everything. as you go, you're going to have stuff that pops up that you do need to know about, but it's about being resourceful. It's not about having all the resources up front. Guys, there are so many places that you can go and look for things to help you learn about this business. There's Coach Basics groups. There's our team page. There's our team website. There's my YouTube channel. There's Team Beachbody's YouTube channel. There's the back office. There's all of these things. There's all of these coaches across the entire network that have amazing, social media platforms and YouTube pages where they post all of their training. There's the National Wake Up Call. There's all of these places that you can go and find answers. Like, you literally can just go to Google, Team Beachbody Google, how do I sign up for Coach Summit? And boom, the page appears and you're able to register for Coach Summit. So it's just like, it's not about the most successful people are not the ones who just start out knowing everything. It's those who get going and realize that the resources are all there at their fingertips for them to go and grab. And then action. Inaction breeds fear, you guys. The longer you sit there and you think about it, the scarier it is going to become. It's like the monster in the room. Like, as soon as you shine light underneath the bed and realize nothing's there, you can go to bed, right? But if you just sit there the whole night, you're thinking like, oh my God, there's like a ghost under my bed, you're not going to sleep. So inaction breeds fear. You have to go ahead and shine that light on it. And the only way to do that is really just by doing, even through the fear. And I think that a lot of the times, like, again, why people aren't taking action is that fear that's there. And I know I just told you some ways that you can combat that, but it's also about changing the way you look at things. So when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, right? So if you're starting to think about salesmanship, the thing that comes to mind is like the shady car salesman, right? And it's about being persuasive. It's about pushing somebody to get something that they don't want, convincing them. It's about your benefit. You're getting something so you can make money. Of course, you don't want to be a salesman if that's what that means. It feels like crap. But if you change it to helpsmanship and you're reaching out to somebody because you want to help them where they're at with what they can do at that moment, and you have the answers and you've done it, and you know how it feels and you feel good about it, then you can't help but want to share it with other people. Then you're helping them. And if they say, no, I'm not into it, then you're not pushing them. Then you offered it to them. And maybe a year, 2, 3 years, they come back down the line and say, hey, I remembered that she reached out to me and wanted to help me. And now I do need her help. And she's going to reach back out to me now. You have to change it and really concentrate on the service behind the business, what you have to offer to other people, and be really unapologetic about that. Because if I really sit here and think about everything that Beachbody has given me in my life, if I am holding that to myself and not sharing it with other people, I'm pretty much the most selfish person on the planet. Because it has given me everything. It has given me my health. It's given me confidence. It's given me happiness, joy, purpose, passion, my best friends. It's given me the ability to travel, to quit my job, to be a stay-at-home dog mom. It is going to be the things, I even talk about the future, that helps me build a house, that helps me travel even more, that lets Ryan and I go celebrate a 10-year wedding anniversary somewhere cool, that like does all of these things for me. Beachbody offers me that. And I also got out of the worst depression in my entire life because of this business. It saved my life. So I have a right and an obligation to go and tell somebody else about this. And when I sit there and I talk to myself like that, and then I sit down at the computer, I can guarantee you that fear of, oh my God, what do they think of me, goes away. All right, so how do we post to attract builders? So now we've gotten rid of that part. You guys know what you can do to get rid of the fear, to take action, to start actually doing these things. So now that we're doing these things, how do we do them? So how to post to attract builders? So you want to look at Beachbody and you almost want to make a list, right? Like what life was like pre-Beachbody and what life is like now, or something that just happened and how Beachbody is going to change it or fix it for you. And that's how you are going to relate everything to it. I literally think that you can relate Beachbody to absolutely every scenario that happens in your life, like every single one of them. And so when you're posting, talk about how coaching has improved your life. It may not be that you earned $1 million yet. Maybe it's just that you feel better today. Maybe it's just that you got in a really great sweat and that like saved your Monday because your Monday sucks. Maybe it's that you met somebody really cool, or you had a great conversation, or one of your challengers messaged you and gave you a really nice compliment, or maybe it's just the group that you're in rocks right now and it's helping you stay positive. Like find some way to figure out how Beachbody has improved your life and talk about it daily. It could be the community. It could be the lifestyle. So, as coaches, we get to do really cool things. We get to go on Success Club trips. We get to go to Summit. We have these really fun events that we go to that are super Saturdays where we all work out together. Like as a team, sometimes we throw team events and stuff. That's all lifestyle, So like sharing that and sharing that community, that's something that a lot of people are missing. In fact, I didn't really even realize that it was something I was missing until I became part of it. And then I was like, oh, like this is what's been missing from my life. Accountability. I say it all the time. Like if I was not a Beachbody coach, I probably would be fat. I honestly would. I probably would have just gone back to like being lazy, being depressed, laying on the couch, going to bed at 10 p.m. And eating whatever the hell I wanted, drinking whatever the hell I wanted, and complaining about my life. But because I told other people I was going to do something, and not only that I was going to do it, but I was going to help them do it, it holds me more accountable to myself and to staying on track with my health and fitness for me. And it's really created such a crazy, incredible habit that now working out is just second nature. I can't imagine a day without working out. My days that I don't work out are actually harder than the days that I do work out. And it's my favorite part of my day. That's something I can turn around and make a post about, from somebody who was lazy couch potato to working out is my favorite part of my day. And obviously I wouldn't just put it like that. I'm going to talk about the details of that post. You can talk about passion and joy. So for me, like I talked about how I did enjoy my job. I did like my boss. I did like my coworkers and all of that stuff. But the thing for me was that I always had this feeling of like, am I really supposed to be sitting at like a cubicle like every single day of my life? Like life is really short. This is how I'm going to spend my time. Like this is my purpose. This is why I was put on this planet. And that drove me freaking nuts to my core. Like I never wanted to have that 9-to-5 lifestyle. I never wanted to be chained to a desk. I never wanted to be under somebody else's schedule. I never wanted to have to report to anyone or ask for permission to take days off or to travel or call somebody when I'm sick and tell them. Like I just didn't want to have to do that. And so when I started this journey, it really was just about me and my health and my fitness and how I felt. But then as I started giving it to other people, I really started to feel and realize like all of those challenges and things that I had gone through, the things that led me to like my depression, the things that like made me my saddest, those biggest obstacles and stuff led me here, and that they had a purpose. And that purpose was that I could then turn around and I could help other people that felt that way change it. And so that's where my passion comes from. That's where I find joy in this business, is truly by helping other people change their lives. And I really think that the best way you can help somebody else change their life is to literally change their circumstances, not just their body. And that's what this business does. So yes, I can create posts about that. Income related. I don't care if you've made $5. I don't care if you've made $100. You can talk about how much income that you're making within Beachbody. If you made $50 this week, that's $50 more than you had last week. And that $50 could mean a lot to somebody right now. Somebody who's struggling, $50 could mean the difference between being able to buy groceries that week or not, or put gas in their car. So you can talk about your own income. You can talk about your coach's income. You can talk about somebody else on the team. If they've shared their income and say it's okay, you could be like, yeah, and you can go for it and you can tell their story and you can talk about how Beachbody income has helped them. Get creative with it. It doesn't always have to be about you. Again, the passion and the joy, like that sort of thing, that can be about somebody else. The lifestyle of community. You can, again, use other people in your challenge group or your team, etc., to like build that and talk about it on a daily basis. Journey and results. Guys, I know that that's not posting about the business, but what it is it's attracting people to your challenge groups. And then you can use your challenge group as a feeder system to find people who want to work the business. So posting about your journey, posting about your results, not just yours, but your coaches, your challengers, other people who are in the challenge group with you, get their permission. Say, can I share this, that you're in this challenge group with me and you're rocking it right now? Like, can I share that on my page? So then you're showing proof that the product works for other people too, not just you. Right? And then they're like, oh, well, it's working for this person too. And then they join you. And then your brand daily. Yes, random stuff, like pictures of your dog, whether you like, maybe you went sledding, maybe you went skiing, maybe you went to dinner, maybe whatever, like, but those random things that make you you. Maybe you knit, maybe you garden, I don't know. But whatever you do, when you share those things, other people who relate to those things, your people, like, so people who like the same stuff that you like are going to like them. They're going to comment on them. And then you can go ahead and you can reach out to them and you can start a conversation that's going to lead to finding builders. I know that that sounds like weird. Like, okay, I'm going to talk about my health and fitness and I'm going to talk about my life. And then all of a sudden that's how I attract builders. But yes, that's exactly how you attract builders. So you posted, now what? Posting isn't enough. You have to reach out to every single person who likes and comments on your post. Yes, every single post. Like I said, I don't care if it's about you jumping up and down on a trampoline and peeing your pants. Yes, I've posted that on social media before. It's about whatever you can start a conversation about. And then you go ahead and you message them. Because every conversation is a jumping off point for an invite. Every single person you come in contact with in your life, on social media, is somebody that potentially you could add to your challenge group or your team. And then, not just those people, but every day you should be starting 5 new conversations from scratch. So yes, those people liked your post, but then, okay, so let's say you're the person who keeps posting it and it's the same people who like every post. Wouldn't give you anybody to reach out to that day, right? So you have to go and you have to start new conversations. Also, when you're doing that, it does like play with the algorithms, and Facebook knows that, and you're going to start seeing more of their posts, and they're going to start seeing more of your posts. And then all of a sudden, maybe they do like a post that's all about a challenge group. So keep that in mind. I say 5 minimum a day. When I was first starting this business, I used to reach out to as many people as I possibly could every single day. 5 was just my minimum. But I would literally work until my eyes were closing, and then I would go to bed and I would do the same thing the next day. That's how I left my job in 6 months. And maybe that's not your goal and you're going to work a little bit slower, but 5 is basically bare minimum of what you should be doing each day. And then you want to follow up with all of those people consistently. And when you follow up with them, you just follow up on what you were talking with last. So if you were talking about a challenge group, that's where you're going to follow up with them. If you were just talking about like your dogs, you're going to like follow up with them and just say, hey, how was your day today? Like if it's, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just start talking to them again. Every conversation you have should be about the next conversation you're going to have. So ask questions and look for open doors. So this gum's driving me nuts. So what you're going to do here is you're going to form them. How many of you have heard of like the term form? Okay. Yeah. It stands for family, friends, occupation, recreation, message, right? So you're going to ask them about their friends, about their family, about their work life, about what they like to do. Where do you live? All of those sorts of questions when you're doing this. I'll tell you what. I was not a conversationalist before this business. I literally am a introverted extrovert. So I'm definitely an extrovert once I get to know you, but I'm not the person who's going to walk into like a networking function and like start talking to people. I will be the person in the corner on my phone pretending like I'm busy because I don't want to look up and talk to people. But if I walk into a full room of like 150 people I know, then yeah, I'm just going to start talking and walking around talking to everybody. That's just who I am. And, I remember being the person that Ryan would drag because he was in sales. I remember that he would drag me to some of these sales events and things. And like when we'd leave, sometimes I'd be like, oh, so-and-so was so nice. I hadn't started the conversation with them, but it would be some random person who would come up to me and just start talking to me and ask me questions about myself. And I realized that back in the day when that person did that, I would not ask them a single question about themselves. I just answered their questions, right? Like I was the worst conversationalist ever. So what this business has forced me to do is become a better conversationalist. I've become interested instead of interesting. So I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to continue to ask questions. Where are you from? Oh, do you live there now? Like, how long have you been there? Do you work there too? Oh, what do you do for work? Do you enjoy it? Like, oh, that's really cool. Like, does your boyfriend, husband, do they work there as well? Like, oh, that's awesome. Do you guys have kids? Like, you have a dog? Like, yada, yada, yada. Like, all of these questions, right? Because what that's going to do is, if they are a better conversationalist than I was when it was basically like talking to a door, they're going to respond back and they're going to ask me questions about myself. And when I answer those questions, I'm going to answer them in a way that's going to make them curious about what I do, right? Oh, I used to work at Flight Downtown doing marketing for people, but now I own my own business and I just help people get fit online. Or, oh, I have my own online business. Like I'm a health and fitness coach. And then they'll ask more questions about it. Or how have you been, right? And I'm like, oh my God, awesome. I just started this new program. I'm in a challenge group. It's super fun. Like I've lost X amount of pounds. Like it's so fantastic. You have any fitness goals? So I'm asking questions in a way where it's going to open up the conversation for me to start talking to them about a challenge group or about coaching or about those sorts of things. And if you are a door like I was, and like really just like the most boring person to talk to ever and just answering the questions and not asking anything back, when you're in that situation where you're talking to somebody and they're doing that to you and you're like, oh my God, this is like pulling teeth. Like they don't ask me anything back. Like I'm stuck. Then you can just start inserting. Oh, that's really cool. I do this. Right? Does that make sense? It's pretty easy to do, right? Yeah. Okay. So open doors, et cetera, et cetera. Now, as you're asking all of these questions to get to know them, and then you start talking about like a challenge group or a fitness program or coaching. Like if somebody tells me they hate their job, I literally will say to them, oh my God, have you ever considered doing what I do? Or have you ever thought about opening an online business? And then again, that's an open door question. They're going to start asking me more questions because they don't know everything about it. So then we'll dig into that, right? So either way, when you're doing these things, it's all about asking questions. And when you're talking to somebody at that level where you've gotten to like the challenge group and stuff like that, dig in with even more questions. How long have you wanted to lose weight? Has it always been a struggle for you? What's the biggest struggle for you within it? Or how is your nutrition? Like, oh, okay. Like, and just keep asking the different questions, because what happens is then when you get to the part where you're about to sell them, help them, and they give you an objection, you can go back and you can talk about their objection. And based on what they said, you can say why it actually makes sense for them to make the choice. So an example of that would be somebody who says that they spend way too much money on coffee. They can't get off, going to Starbucks 3 times a day. Then you can be like, well, you told me that you spend this much money at Starbucks, and I've found that people in my challenge group are drinking Shakeology. Stop drinking coffee altogether, not to mention it's a nice healthy alternative that's going to give you energy. So you're really actually saving money. See how that works? So that's how you do that. Now, I know you guys are talking about you're talking about challenge groups, you're talking about posting about challenge groups and all of that stuff. So like, how does this relate to attracting builders? I'm getting there, I promise. So take advantage of the team. So one thing that we do is we run a challenge group, we run sneak peeks, and we run Snoop groups. A Snoop group is basically a sneak peek into what a challenge group is like. A sneak peek is a sneak peek into what coaching is about. Challenge groups, you guys are all in one right now. You know what a challenge group is. These are things that we can use to our advantage to attract builders. So if we are posting about a Snoop group, this is a way for us to immediately reach out to somebody about getting them into our challenge group, right? We don't have to like ask all the crazy questions. They liked our post about a Snoop group. We're going to add them into the Snoop group and they're going to get information in there. So how do you do that? You want to post. You want to have a posting plan. If you're using IG stories, it's really fun to build up to the Snoop group and give them little tidbits about what they can expect in it and have them fill out like a poll that says, yay, I want in, or whatever, and share things like, we're going to do a fun, skinny cocktail session. And then like highlight some testimonials from the current challenge group you have in there and show all of that so you get somebody interested in this group. You can post to social media just your before and afters, or people in theirs before and afters. You can talk about your experience. You can create a call to action post about the Snoop group, and when people like it, you can message them and you can invite them in. You can also go ahead and reach out to people that you've been talking to already that may have been on the fence about joining a challenge group or doing a program, and invite them to the Snoop group to learn more about it. It's such an easy sell because it's not committing to anything. It's just saying, do you want to learn more information? And then you let the team and the posts do the work for you. And then donuts, which I have a link in here that's all about donuts, but donuts are kind of like a cold invite. And I know that Katie talked about it last week, but donuts are like, they're just like, Carl Deichler explained it like the donuts are those little metal things that you put on the bat when you're swinging the bat before you go and play baseball, because it warms up your arms, right? So you take a few practice swings first. You're not just going to go out there and like hit. Same thing. You just get out a few donuts. So I call like cold invites donuts. You're just sending out a message to people saying, hey, I've got this Snoop group coming up on X date. Like, any interest? It's all about like, what the group's about. It's, people who want to get healthy for the whatever summer, etc., and you invite them that way. Sneak peeks are the same. You're going to build up to them, but you're going to use posts about income. You're going to use posts about lifestyle. You're going to use posts about what coaching has done for you. And you're going to invite them with a call to action post, but you're also going to send out those donuts. And you're also going to talk to people that maybe you've talked to before about coaching that have been on the fence. Or you'll reach out to somebody who's on your dream team list and you'll say, hey, like, you know, I really thought of you and I thought that you would love like coaching with me. Ever considered it? I have this sneak peek group that I'm going to add you in. Also, people who have been in your challenge groups are great to reach out to offer to go into a sneak peek. Many of you on this call came out of a sneak peek group after you went in a challenge group. And then challenge groups are a great way too, to have something to post about. All of these things give you something to invite to. So by having something to invite to, it's going to make your posts much more concise. It's going to give you a plan. It's going to help you with inviting and building that urgency of like, it's on this date, so you want to get started now. So that's how that all works. You're going to use those to your advantage. And I'm not going to talk a lot about combos, but I wanted to point this out to you. So you should be using the combo template. It can be found in the files section of the team page. Also in there, you'll see that we have like a sneak peek flow. So if you go ahead and you just search sneak peek in the team page, you're going to see that there's a few posts in there that give you exact invites of how you can invite and who you should invite to a sneak peek. And then the donut call. So here's the YouTube link, you guys. I'm going to post this on YouTube and then post it in the team page. But this gives you a link to a call that goes over exactly what a donut is and how to send them out to people, and even gives you some text examples of what to say. We also have the launch party going for you guys right now. That is basically a Snoop group. So you can go in there and you can add your people and they get the info. And then in the files section, we also have objection sheets. So if somebody gives you an objection, you can go ahead and you can use these sheets. But if you've done your job with talking to them enough, you'll get to the point where like you won't have as many objections. All right, so when you're talking to people, when do you talk coaching? During the sign-up process. You guys, so if you've put up a post about a challenge group, or you've had them in a Snoop group when they're ready to go in the challenge group, or you put them in the launch party group when they're ready to go in the challenge group, or they're just purchasing their challenge pack, right then and there, you guys can ask them, would you like me to sign you up as a coach so you can get the 25% discount moving forward on Shakeology or any other performance line products, etc. like that? I have been using the line, you're going to be doing the program for 80 days anyways, you might as well save money on it, right? So then they sign up as a coach, but they're doing it for the discount. Like you can say, you're not obligated to coach, but the opportunity is there for you if you'd like to take advantage of it and earn money like me. So they're like, great, sign me up for the discount, right? Once you've signed them up, that is when you ask them again. It doesn't just stop there. You say, you're already signed up as a coach. You know, if we put a post up on social media and you have a few friends, like we can get a few friends in the group with you. It'll make it even more fun and accountable, and you can earn some of your money back. Do you have any interest in doing so? Cannot tell you how many people I've signed up as coaches just from doing that, who actually start coaching, go Emerald and further, and make their money back and become building coaches. So that's one of the best ways that you can do it, which is why I was saying, if you're talking about challenge groups, if you're talking about weight loss, if you're talking about a regular call to action post, or you're just talking about anything and you get them anywhere interested in joining a challenge group or their health and fitness, that is giving you the opportunity to find a builder. Because even though you didn't attract them in the first place because of that, you can ask them during that process. Okay. What if they say no during that time? That's fine. You just put them in your challenge group when they act like as a challenger, and you treat them as a challenger. But then a week or two in, when they're crushing it and they're showing up daily in the challenge group and they're doing well and they're loving the program and the product, reach out again and ask them if they'd like to go into a sneak peek and check out coaching. And there you go. There's your second opportunity. Of course, the open door moments that I talked about earlier, if somebody says they need to lose weight, or they comment about, oh my God, I saw you doing that program, or they talk about how they don't like their work or whatever, that's your open door to start talking about it and inviting them. And you want to invite all the time. Coaching is not a dirty word, you guys. It's the best way that you can change someone's life. So you want to make sure that you're posting all the time about how this business has changed your life. One of the biggest mistakes I see coaches make is that they only talk about health and fitness all the time, and they forget that they should be talking about coaching too, and how this has changed their life. Even in the beginning, I did that from my very first paycheck and from how I felt just by being part of the community. And that is how I built my business. So with that said, use your coach. There's no secrets. Like, your coach isn't going to hide any secrets from you about how to do things, how to talk to people, where you can find resources. They want you to be successful because when you're successful, they're successful. And the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? So if you need help, you need to tell your coach that you need help, because many of the coaches on this team have a lot of coaches underneath them, right? So it's hard to like check in on everybody all the time. You are running your business. So if you need help with your business, you need to speak up and say, I need help with my business. Work with the willing and match their efforts. So especially for you new coaches, I want to let you know this, that you're never bugging your coach. And if you're working, your coach is always there to help you. But I also want you to know that if you sign somebody up who says, yeah, I want to run with this with you and I totally want to coach, and then you feel like you're constantly the one that's checking in with them and saying, hey, like, you're going to jump on this call. Hey, do you want to do this? Hey, are you going to post something? Hey, you never posted. Hey, are you going to like, and you're constantly feeling like you're following up with that person and chasing them down. They might just not like be into it at the moment, and you can just treat them like a challenger. Just work with the willing and match their efforts. If they run, you run. And follow your coaches and your team's lead. So it's really easy to look in the team and see who's doing well, and then go check out their social and say, what are they doing that I'm not? How are they posting? How are they speaking? What are they doing? What are they sharing with me that they're doing? And follow that, because legitimately, you guys, were handing you like a roadmap and saying, hey, if you follow this, you'll be successful. All right, so I started this call out with our deepest fear is. And if you guys don't know this poem, it's my very, very favorite, and it's a poem by Marianne Williamson, and I can't get out of this. Oops, there we go. And it says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And not only is it my very favorite poem ever in the world, but I feel like it applies so much to this business, because as soon as you start letting yourself shine and you just start sharing your journey and your authentic self, you will automatically attract builders to your business. You will automatically attract people who need your help to you, because you're doing something different and you're showing them that it can be done. Any questions? How are we on time? A little over, but we're good. Cool. All right. If there's no questions, I'm going to go ahead and actually, there's like 40 comments in here. Whoa. You guys are all having like a conversation. Yes. I love that, Mariah, the Mel Robbins thing. Fear and excitement act the same way in your body. Tell yourself when you feel scared, fear, that you're excited until you believe it. Love that.
Kim Fitzpatrick actually said, like, she was one of the speakers, and she said that as soon as she came out, she's like, I'm just telling myself right now, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. And yeah, I think it works.
I love Kim Fitzpatrick. She's like,
she spoke twice and was completely like blew my mind both times.
Favorite humans. She's so sweet, like genuinely, like
she's like such a passion to serve and to like give people the best experience they can possibly have. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I want you to be my mom or something. I don't know. My coach.
You want to be your bestie. We don't know what our lot leadership, right, Meg? Cool. If nobody has questions, I'll let you go. I hope that was helpful. I'll post the recording in the team page soon. I hope you guys all have a great night.